If you think this is going to be the year that everything's going to finally change for you, you've made this new plan that you're going to implement all these new habits and this is going to be the year for you, let me tell you, it's most likely not going to happen. And that's for a couple reasons. But I'm pretty sure anyone who has ever said that this year I'm going to do this and set out to make this massive New Year's resolution, pretty much no one actually will accomplish it, and it's for a couple of key reasons. The reason your New Year's resolution isn't going to work is because nothing's going to change if you just set out to do something new this year. This year I'm going to do this, because a new year doesn't mean a new you. That's not the way it works. A lot of people see a New Year's resolution as a kind of challenge. They want to go through it like, oh, I'll do this for this long, but eventually I'll just go back to the old way. And you don't need a challenge to actually start improving your life. You need a change. You need to actually adopt the mindset of doing something different. And if you want to change, you have to be willing to make a permanent change. Do something that you can actually stick to. How can you improve your life in a way that's going to be sustainable for you, instead of just trying to do it for a week and then giving up because it gets hard and feeling like that you failed because you didn't stick to your New Year's resolution? But that's the other thing. Just because you miss a day or you skip out on your habit for a while doesn't mean you failed. The only way that you will fail something is if you quit on it, and that's what most people do. They try to have this new habit or stick away from this food or do whatever they're trying to do to improve themselves in this new year, and they go like 3 days and then they mess up on one day and figure, oh, I messed up, so I might as well just go back to my old habit and keep doing it. But that's not the way that it works. You can't just expect to do something new and magically be able to be 100% consistent with that. Go to the gym 6 times a week and never miss a day for the next rest of your life. But that's not the way the world works. If you want to be able to improve yourself and implement habits into your life that are actually going to make a positive difference for you, you need to be willing to accept the fact that it's going to take time to get consistent with these things. You're not going to be perfect right away. If you try to start going to the gym 6 days a week, you're probably only going to make it 2 out of those first couple times. Maybe you only go to the gym 2 times the first month where you actually are trying to get into it or trying to get into exercising. But the thing is, you need to have the mindset about making progress. Just because you haven't gone as many times as you expected yourself to, if it's more than it was in the past, that's progress. That's seen as a win. And this is the way to approach any kind of new habit, or even quitting bad habits that you want to get rid of. Whatever it is that you want to do to become a better version of yourself, you need to be willing to take it in a way that's not this fantasy of, oh, I can just flip the switch in my mind and I'll be perfect. But that's not the way habits are built. It takes time to build up consistency. It takes time to develop that habit in your brain until it gets to the point where you actually enjoy doing something. That's the thing for a lot of people. When they pick up a new habit or something that is actually going to make a change for their life, it doesn't come in the New Year's. It comes at some time where they are actually inspired to make a change, because either they've hit a low point or they've had other influences on them, of maybe people in their life or like videos like this, where they decided, okay, it's time to make a change. And I know I'm not going to be perfect in the beginning, but as long as I can stick with this for the rest of my life, I'm going to get better. Because the thing is, if you want to get better and you want to actually implement this habit in your life, that you want to become a new version of yourself this year, you're going to have your entire life to do this habit. You're going to have your entire life to figure this thing out. So it's not that big of a deal if you fail a couple times in the first month of trying to get consistent and going to the gym or whatever it is. If you cheat on your diet a couple times in the first month of being on that diet, it's not a failure unless you let it be. Unless you deem it so. One of my favorite sayings is just keep failing forward. Just every time you make a mistake, you're going to keep getting better and you're going to keep making progress towards the area that you want to go. That's happened a lot for me with this channel. When I first started, I had no idea what I was talking about. I had no idea to articulate myself on camera, and I've switched my niche so many different times. I've tried so many different things, and I don't see any of those as failures, even though sometimes my view count has dropped or I've tried something and it hasn't worked. I haven't seen that as a failure, because I'm still making content, I'm still pushing stuff out, and I still enjoy doing this, and I want it to be part of my life, and I enjoy speaking my mind and speaking about topics that I believe can genuinely inspire people and actually help you improve your life, because this is the stuff that has helped me, and I'm just giving messages that I believe that my younger self would have needed to hear, because there was a point where I tried to make New Year's resolutions and just completely failed on them, and figured I was a failure because I didn't do something every day of the year, because I was too caught up in the mindset of how everyone else does it. And everyone who makes a New Year's resolution, pretty much no one actually sticks to it. And the other way that I like to think of making progress in terms of just life in general is not look at it from a yearly perspective of 2023 or 2024. Look at it in terms of the years of your life. Like, what were you doing at a certain age? You're at the age of 14 right now. What do you want to be like when you're actually 15 or 16? What kind of person do you want to be in those stages of your life, so you can start working towards that? And what habits and what mindsets and what kind of things do you need to be doing in your everyday life to build up to the person that you want to be, maybe even when you're 30, 40, or what do you want to look like when you're old? What kind of life do you want to have lived? And if you have that vision of your mind and you can orient yourself with that mindset of looking ahead to the future, thinking like, what do I want my life to look like in a couple years or even in many years, then you can start taking action towards that. Because for most of us, we're gonna be on this earth for a while. We probably got a pretty long haul ahead of us. If you want to live to the age of 70, 80, 90, or even like 100, you have a long time on this earth, and you have a lot of time to figure stuff out. So it doesn't matter if you haven't 100% mastered this new habit within a year of trying to do it. But the thing is, with that, you can't just always procrastinate and be like, oh, I'll pick this up later, or next year, I'll do it next year, or I'll start this resolution when it's January. If you want to improve habits and you fucking cars, if you want to be able to implement habits into your life and just pick up new things and actually implement a change, you have to be willing to start today. Every day should be your new year. Every day is a new chance to do better and become that new version of yourself. And yes, it's hard, yes, it's difficult, and you're never going to be 100% perfect with it, but as long as you have the mindset of staying consistent with it, even though there's going to be times where you relapse and slip up and make mistakes, that's part of it. And as long as you're willing to accept that mindset and keep continuing forward, then eventually you're going to be able to implement that habit and actually become the new version of yourself that you want to see. With that being said, if you don't know already, my name is Colby Wallace. I'm an 18-year-old artist from Canada, currently traveling in New Zealand. If you want more videos on how to improve yourself, if you want to hear my original music, might as well subscribe to the channel. Not sure what you're waiting for. It's a win for you because you get to see more content. It's a win for me. Love to see your support. If you want to join a community on how to break your social media and your phone addiction, there is a free link for that in the description. If you want to hear my original music, that is also in the description. And with that being said, never stop creating, my friend, and I'll see you in the next one.